Hello, and welcome to the Spirit Hunters podcast. I'm Lance White Eagle, and with me this evening are
Chrissy,
Hunter,
Brenda,
Lisa,
from Res Dogs, and Shay.
Oh, she does look like that girl.
With the girl with the hat back.
In this evening, we're going to be talking about our recent investigation at the United Church in Ellicotville, New York. And you want to talk about how we got hooked up going there?
Well, we were working with the Ellicotville Historical Society. Ellen Frank, vice president over there. We also sometimes talk to Don Westfall, the president. Of course, Ellen knows everybody in that town.
Yeah, she does.
A town with a population of 261 people.
Yeah.
So everybody there knows somebody.
Yeah.
And we started talking about the United Church, one of the historic buildings, because we look for historic places first, and then go from there. I think it was built 1854. Unique history to the church. I forget the man's name, but one of the founders of Lilydale, which is a spiritualist, especially in this time period, most churches don't think necessarily positively about that type of religion. But his daughter passed away, and the church actually allowed him to have the funeral there.
Yeah.
Even though several people in town threatened them. But that tells you something about the church from the start, right? Mm-hmm. Later, they added, made the United Church, it's a Presbyterian church that also then welcomed Methodists. So they were, Presbyterian and Methodist for a number of years. Now it's pretty much just the Presbyterians again, but it's really open-minded. And then you add the fact that they're willing to take a Native American, predominantly Native American group, right, that does ghost investigation, and where the church voted positively for us to be there. I mean, a bunch of really great people there, really open-minded thinkers, and it shows something too that they trust us with a place like that.
Yeah. So did you reach out to them, or they reach out to you to do it?
This specific investigation?
The church.
I had, before I called anybody over there, I had at that time 18 possible locations. They've since grown to about 26.
Way to brag.
So I reached out to them.
You reached out to them,
Yeah.
okay. And we arrived, we met the pastor, who was,
The new one, yeah.
really
he was pretty
Nice.
friendly
nice, openly and open to,
Wasn't bad looking either.
giving us the run of the building, because he was like, all right, have at it, good luck,
He even offered to let you use his guitar to help.
Oh, yeah, he used his guitar.
And I was talking about how I thought the organ was like really cool, and then he showed us a video in the other church of the guy playing the Cantina
The
song
Star Wars
from Star
Cantina
Wars.
song.
Really?
Like
on
it
the
was,
church organ.
That's cool.
like
That'd be
playing
cool.
it. So it was
Yeah.
like, he was,
Yeah.
We should
really
probably
nice.
know too that this church has 18 or 20 foot pipe organ in it too.
The ceiling alone was like 30, 35 feet tall.
Yeah.
In the main church,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. We love
Yeah.
pipe organs.
So let's see, we got there.
Lisa's always.
We started setting up. Now we got there a little late. We got delayed.
A little?
No,
A
we
little.
got there 15 minutes early. You got there
No,
25
we
minutes.
got
It was
there
the
45
Burger
minutes
King
early
ad
almost.
with
They
the
got there an hour
delays.
late.
The first
Wasn't
thing
a whole
after-
hour.
No,
Yes, it
30
was.
minutes.
It was almost an hour to the dot. Literally, you were like 2 minutes
sorry.
shy of an hour.
Anyway,
Yeah, the Burger King app delayed us, and that stupid freaking Mustang was really annoying me. If I still had the vibe, I would have bumped it back. He's in a, sorry podcast, he's in a brand new Mustang on 219 going 25. And they're doing construction so you can't pass. And I'm like, why are you in a Mustang doing 25?
Yeah. Keep in mind that was way under the speed limit.
Yeah, speed limit's 45 through there, and everybody goes 50 except this guy. But anyway, so do you guys get anything? I know a lot of, and we didn't really talk about that. When we're setting up, stuff starts
There
getting
was-
weird.
Right
There
off
was
the bat.
One thing that before you go into, I know what you were talking about, but I just, early on the spirit ball, this is just little, but it went off in the one room where they used to like babysit the kids.
Yeah.
That was just
Oh, yeah.
something which we'll
Several-
tie into, we'll talk about
Several
it more
times,
later.
right?
But
Like, before she even went in there, when we were setting the stuff up, it went off like 5-6 times almost, not consecutive like it did the one time with you.
We should
but
know
like,
too, when we had a table just of the tools, equipment that we use, and while we were setting up, 2 of the millimeters and a REM pod was also going off.
Yeah, all this is on video. Excuse me.
But I think you were probably talking about the organ.
Yeah, so
Like I had put the one spirit ball down and I had just sat it down and walked away and it immediately started going off.
like almost constantly, right?
We should probably note, because Nancy's participation in that is kind of crucial, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to
Well,
get to in a second. Once she comes
bring
in.
that back around.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is before Nancy gets there.
Yeah.
So we'll do this, and then Dad will say that. We get there. I don't know who set. Chrissy apparently set the cat ball up. I don't know who set the spirit music box up over there. Somebody did. Maybe it was even me. I don't know. And then we put the laser grid stuff over there, whatever. But literally within seconds of Chrissy putting up that spirit ball, just almost non-stop going off. And we have all this on camera, by the way. So once we
Yeah.
get this edited down and figured it out, we'll put it up. We'll blast it all over social media. Same with this music box. This music box was, like we said in other podcasts, it's got in the proper conditions 6 to 10 feet of range. It sends out ultrasonic signals and bounces off whatever's in its field, and that will trigger it to start going. It's battery powered.
And it was pointed just at the bench, the organ bench.
Yeah, and so whatever was setting off that spirit ball was simultaneously setting off this music box, and almost in sync. Now, depending on where it was, because like I said, it was probably from the closest part to the bench. It was probably 6 feet from this music box.
Yeah.
And then the other bench part of it was closer to 9.
Yeah.
So if it was on that side of it, it would only sometimes trigger it because there was a big bright window light right behind it, so it was hard for it to figure it out. But anything within that 6 foot range, it was just doop doop doop, and we got that all night. It's actually on the TikTok live that I uploaded. If you guys want to check that out, it's on Facebook, and I think I put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah.
So
Our contact there for that church was Donna Baldwin. Very great person, very intelligent, very open-minded,
Very
and
sweet lady.
funny. She was there too when we first got there, her and the pastor, and she showed us a few other places like the attic and the basement, the pastor also. Then Nancy Rogan comes in while we were setting up, and she's in the attached room, like the dining area across from the kitchen, and I'm with her, and we're talking. I think Mom was there too, and maybe Tom, and she's saying that her mother played that organ 30 years ago, for many years, but it's been 30 years since she's passed, and she asked if we could try to make contact with her.
that was 40 years.
As she's saying this, that's when that stuff happened with you guys. We're looking at the organ, and she's telling me about her mom, and that stuff starts going on
Yes.
right then.
I want to say I think it was 40 years, not 30 years, that her mom has passed away.
40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
40
So-
years.
And well, I think she played the organ for 30 years. And passed
No,
away.
it's been 40 years since she passed.
Yeah, but I know I
She
thought
played
still
for the organ for many, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you might be. They're at least closer. Or I think she said around 30 years or closer.
Yeah, I
to
think
30, something
I
like
thought
that.
somebody said that the mother
Yeah.
was the organ player for 30
I thought. Yeah, I
years.
thought Ellen maybe said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wrong.
And so Nancy and her granddaughter, who was there, she's a very sweet girl, they went to go in there because I was saying, well, you know what, this stuff's going on. Go on in there right now. So you guys were in there with them, and they were actually seeming to interact with
Yeah.
their mother, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
right?
They were a little hesitant to go
But
look
I
at the
think that was
equipment.
mom mostly with them, right? Because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
because like when she came in, she passed as I was walking out because I was
Yeah, we
not
were setting
aware.
up other
of the-
equipment.
yeah. But you guys want to talk about what you got there with her immediately?
Well, her mother, she said, "Mom, is that you?" And everything went off.
Like the cat ball too?
Cat ball and the music box and
Spirit ball, sorry.
and
Right.
that thing it has numbers.
Oh, the Envoy Ghost Box.
Yes,
No, the-
Yeah.
Oh, that.
that thing was saying yes, and it showed it was tapped.
So another way of confirming her. That
Yeah.
So
mom was
three-
saying yes.
3 different things, all confirming almost simultaneously something. Is,
And I heard
you know,
I was in the other room, but I did hear the REM pod going off sometimes.
all right
Yeah.
around this pipe organ. So
Yeah.
Right, so she was talking to her and she said, "Do you remember this?" And it would respond, "Or do you remember that?" And my anniversary's coming up. Didn't we have a great time? And it said yes. And she said, "And this is my granddaughter," and introduced her, and it reacted to that.
Oh, so she had more interaction than I realized.
Oh yeah,
That's great.
and
And the
they got real
granddaughter-
excited.
Yeah, the granddaughter was a little hesitant at first.
she was almost terrified at
Yeah,
the very beginning.
like right after she's like asking the grandma, like, "Can we just sleep here?"
Yeah.
Can we just,
When we first got, she was so terrified. I was like, "Well, you can go look at all these issues." She's like, "No, no." And then, by the time they get ready to leave, "Can we stay the night?" She got really into it.
So they had
but-
some great interaction.
They did.
Oh, yeah, immediately.
And,
It
and
was
I
awesome.
love it when that happens. That doesn't happen.
And it was like the perfect
No.
timing too, because it's right when Nancy and her granddaughter got there.
Oh,
That's when.
and you want to tell them about the coffee?
the coffee.
Oh, Elizabeth, also Betty,
The mother.
used to make the coffee for the congregation in the morning. And Nancy said, "Do you want me to make coffee for these people?" And everything lit up.
What up?
Well, I
She
think
goes-
she first mentioned to you, like, "Oh, my mom used to like
Yeah, and
come
they
in and
were
make
like
coffee and
lit
everything lit up." And then she's like, do you want me to make coffee?" And it's like cat ball goes off, music box goes off, and mom's
So
like,
she went in there and
"You
made
got people in
coffee.
here. You gotta make coffee."
Yeah.
Got
When your
people.
daughter is, got grandkids of her own.
Did that
and
happen
She's like, yes.
in the
make that
beginning?
coffee.
Did you have interaction in that room too?
Didn't you do your rods in the beginning of that room? I think.
No.
Not yet, I don't think. I
I
think
don't
Lisa,
know what
I think we were all, I think there's pretty much mom in there with Nancy, because we were all still setting stuff up. We were running
outside,
around.
something.
And then
Yeah.
I
so-
was sitting in that other room by myself
Yeah.
for a while.
So yeah, she went and she made us some coffee, and the things lit up like,
Yeah.
Good daughter.
good job.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
even though
And
we
some
were
of
like,
the things
we
on the
have
other side of the
coffee,
room
she's
was
like,
responding too.
I don't think I even knew that you guys were getting that much until like I was like, Shane and I were like, "Oh, we have coffee," and like she was like, "Well, mom told me to," or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on the pulpit, the thing, instrumentation was going off
Yeah.
in correspondence with the stuff over there by the organ. So
And across the room too.
yeah, there's several
The
different.
the footstep tracker kept going off across
Right,
the
and
room
you
many
don't
times.
get that. It's uncommon for that many things to go off at one time and to seem.
In the same room,
it
yeah.
was, her
Almost,
mama's spirit
yeah.
was a strong spirit.
Yeah. Let's save though, because that I think is some of our best stuff. The
We
rest
can
of
tie
the,
that into the other
the
stuff.
rest of
later.
the mom stuff till like that'll be our
kicker.
finale. Yeah.
There's too much of it to just be a finale.
That's
I know,
fine.
but I'm saying
we
let's
gotta
go
tie
over
it into
our
the other
little
stuff. So.
our less exciting stuff first, so they have to stay tuned to the end.
You're not gonna want to miss.
If
other
you guys
stuff.
cut out before the end, we'll send goats after you.
Goats. You're gonna want to see
Yeah.
the spirit box session that we had. At
Yeah. They won't be able to.
In that room.
So, other than the organ-based stuff, what was some of the other things we started to get early on? Anybody?
I was
Oh,
in the one
yeah,
room
that-
next to the kitchen,
that
and this
was also
ties
still while we
into
were setting up.
Nancy's mother as well later
does.
on. But I was sitting in, it's a little room that they used to use for like daycare. Kids used to go there, and they'd have their snacks and story time and nap time in the room. And actually, Ellen, it is Ellen, correct?
Yes.
yeah.
She used to be one of the people years ago. She used to read to the kids.
Yeah,
there.
as a young
Yeah, as a
teenager,
young-
I think she said.
So I was in there, and I just because the spirit ball was going off earlier, I decided to just sit in there by myself.
Oh,
And
well, do we want to mention that? I told you, I think I asked, you came and saw it. Like, we set down the spirit ball, it lights up because it's motion sensor, and then it went off.
Yeah.
And then immediately, like, I turned to go, and it started.
Yeah. And every time we were getting ready to leave,
Yeah.
it would keep
Yeah,
going
so
on.
I think that's, like, I mentioned that, and you
Led up to
well, I
hers.
saw it.
Yeah.
But so I was sitting there and I just kind of sat quietly for a while, and I just kind of like was like, oh, hello, like and explained who we were and what we were doing there, and we didn't want to harm anybody. And then slowly, as I sat there, like my K2 meter just started going up, ticking just a little bit every once in a while. And you could tell he was kind of like testing out, something was testing out my
shy.
equipment.
Yeah. Trying to figure
And
it
then
out.
I just started, asking some questions, and I found out that it was a little boy, and he really, I don't know, he used to, I can't remember, I think it was after Ellen came in. I can't,
We had come in, because, like,
you came in the middle of me talking to him.
yeah, I came by, and you were like, because it was responding, and then it started doing, right before I came in, the weird, it'd like bring the K2 up to like the midpoint and hold it, 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 and then go,
like he's struggling.
like, he's a young boy, and he's like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
And it's hard to manifest.
Yeah, it is.
Certain
And then-
spirits that
But
can
I was,
Asked him
anyways,
if
I
could
asked
come
him,
in. Did you look
yeah.
for him?
And he came in. I had been talking to him with Ellen for a little bit too, I think before you came in. And we had been, anyway, so I asked him what his favorite color is, and I go through all the colors, and I get to orange, and he like lights up the K2 meter,
Brings
and
the
I was
K2
like,
up to orange.
I was like, no, it just flickered a little bit.
okay.
And then I was like, okay, since you like orange, could you, make the K2 meter go up to the orange, your favorite color? And it immediately goes up to the orange and just holds there. Like when I was like, could you tell, like, to your favorite color? And he just like held it there. Like he was like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
That
and
requires
then-
a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He was setting off the spirit ball. We went through like the alphabet with different names, and he set off the meter when we got to Andrew. And also I asked, I think this was before anyone came in, but I asked if Nancy's mother helped take care of him while he was there, and it spiked. I'm like getting chills, but it's touching because he he goes
And
to
he
her
did
for
seem very
comfort.
He
and-
said she takes
Yes.
care of him now.
Now.
Yeah.
Not then. Now.
Yeah, takes
Yeah.
care of him now. We also got that when Ellen was reading stories there back when she was younger, he used to sit in on the story time because he enjoyed listening to the stories.
As a spirit.
But not physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Right.
to it later.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
he
she
never
was like,
went to
did I
church
know
there.
you? And it was like, no. And
Yeah.
we were like, were you already like this when Ellen would read stories? And yes.
And
were
we
like,
asked if he went to church there. He didn't go to church there.
Yeah, so
I
we
wanna
don't know
add,
what
too,
time frame.
The room where
It could have been a visiting or
Yeah.
something
Well,
before the church.
I was gonna say, remember that the room that he was in was actually an addition that was what?
in the 1950s, I think it
The
was.
70s or 50s, I think. One of the two. I thought it was 70s.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
But yeah, anyway, it was an addition on like the furthest end of the
Yeah,
building.
in the 1900s.
Yeah,
mid-1900s,
so-
mid to late 1900s.
It's possible that could have been a house at one point where he was at, and
That's
that could
true.
have been,
And that back to that church goes on a side of an angled street.
Yeah.
And there is another house right over here.
So there could have
So
been
it
one.
very
right- yeah.
could have been, there probably was another house or two stuck
Yeah.
in there before the addition.
And he seemed to not know, like we asked, like if he had a favorite TV show, and
Oh, I forgot about that.
like,
he didn't really respond.
seem to.
But I asked him
Alan
if
was like, he didn't
I asked him
know,
if he
or-
had
yeah.
a favorite radio show, and it spiked up. So
Yeah.
That's pretty
that's why
cool.
we think he's from.
Upper
yeah.
1800s.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But just if
Which
that's
would make
the
sense
case,
about the snack
he
time
wasn't
thing
there
we were
before
talking
the
about
church.
too.
No,
Yeah,
but it could have
but
been
maybe for
but
the
before
addition.
that edition.
And that's
He
why we
was there
think
before.
this is why we also think he probably wasn't there when Ellen was there. Like I asked about story time and like all this stuff, and then I was like, what about snack time? And he didn't even really react. And I mean,
Like, he
spirits aren't
didn't
gonna
know.
eat, so
Yeah.
like he was probably just like, okay, that was cool, but
He liked
yeah.
listening to Ellen
Yeah.
tell the stories
Yeah.
to the other kids, and
You gotta think he's gonna be at that mindset until he's, you know,
until he moves on.
on.
to his,
You know?
yeah.
So those stories, he
we
could
should
probably,
say too, Ellen was really good with kids. She has a master's degree. She was a teacher for a number of years.
Yep.
So you
Used
can
to-
see
like-
that you probably, even as a young woman, she probably related really
Yeah.
Well,
well.
like we were just saying, would read to the kids at the church, you know, stuff like. She's a really
Yeah.
sweet woman. She's nice. But
Lisa and I also, and Tom, had some experiences. Apparently, it seemed like the same little boy was showing off what he could do with the Mel meter and the K2 meter. He could get them both going. And what was the other? Oh, the
In the-
cat ball.
in the
Yeah.
same
He
room.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about when we were on there. Sorry, like I think you had come in the doorway, and he would set off my meter. Then he would set off. It might have been Tom's meter, and then he would set off
Oh.
My
her meter.
meter,
And it was like
yeah.
he was running around setting everything off, like
Playing duck, duck, goose
to
them
it was
all.
kinda-
He was
Yeah.
very sweet, and it was
Yeah.
cute. Like I said, like the whole vibe was like a young boy. Like look,
Yeah.
look what I could do.
And
I
then,
can do
like,
this.
Watch.
Ellen
Well, I
would
can
get
make a
on.
light up.
Yeah.
You know.
Ellen would get on like a side story, telling a story that didn't involve him, or Lance would start talking about something, and all of a sudden he'd be like, "Wait, what about
Like the
me?" And he'd
cat
just
ball would
start
go
saying,
off.
like,
Yeah.
what the heck?" Like,
I'm still here.
but
Did
Okay.
you do a spirit box in that room?
Later, yeah. Remember we were on the live, me, you, Dad,
I
and
don't
Tom.
remember.
Did you do rods in there?
Yes, for a little bit too.
One thing we love about Lisa, she thinks ahead about what.
No, in all fairness, Lisa's really tired, and it's well past what
Yeah.
time she knows.
And she had to work this morning.
Yeah,
so.
so yeah, no, she.
Yes, Lisa did a spirit box session and a rod session in that room.
Mhm.
Little boy did come across
That's also on the live. I'll be uploading.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. But
quite often.
yeah.
And somehow, too, there seemed to be a little girl that was a little older that came across a few times.
Yeah.
We had 2 K2 meters at different spots on the table, cat ball, and a Mel meter. He could maintain all of them,
Well, yeah, I don't understand
which is
that
pretty
either. 'Cause-
At the
impressive
same time?
Well,
at the same time.
this kind of just goes back to the things we were getting at the beginning of the investigation. Something was able to maintain all those other devices, cat ball, music box, all that
And
stuff.
for you guys out there, that's not a normal thing.
No,
No.
It
like we're
makes
lucky
it
if we get
quickly.
one thing to stay on and to
Yeah.
constantly go off like that, let alone several different devices.
And
Of
with the
course.
K2 when he was holding it at a
Which,
specific
yeah.
point, like
Which-
It's another thing that makes
Yeah.
you
A
think he's
long
an older
period of
spirit.
time.
And
Yeah.
has more
As
strength.
Oh,
more
yeah,
time to
he has
learn
to
how
be
to get that strength.
On
up.
this
Yeah.
plane longer than
Yeah.
Of course, I think
In a
it
few
also
years.
could help too. We're in a place of,
Yeah.
of like focused energy and power. You know, I would assume that if you're a spirit that's living in a church with all that focused, you know, spiritual energy, you probably they might
Learn how to-
have more to
Harness.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we talked about our Hopi, as you guys, most of you know, we have 5 grown children and a 9-year-old. He seemed to really respond to that, and it seemed to. Lisa was talking in a very sweet, kind of loving voice, and he more
Must be nice.
answered. Yeah, he more answered what she was saying than Tom and I. He seemed a little nervous about us. You know, at first anyway, he
Yeah.
got more comfortable after we were in there. For a
Yeah,
bit.
It's kind of like
he didn't really
he was-
respond to me much at all, but
Nah, me either.
and I remember when you first came in, he was a little kind of like
everything turned off for
shy,
a little while.
and then like I remember saying like, this
Yeah.
is Lance, like he's part of our group, and like he's a really nice guy, and then like he started reacting again.
Yeah,
but
I
he
think-
kind of was like, wait a second, but he reacted like more naturally with Ellen and I.
I think,
Yeah.
well, just the women in general, maybe he was like more of like a
Kids,
motherly feel, not
you
know
kids
someone who's
naturally
you know
trust, I think, women.
yeah so that's logical.
But yeah, he
explanation.
seemed to be a sweet kid, and what was it? We kind of
We were getting some.
didn't want to talk about the other stuff that happened later, but in the church proper, throughout the night we got a number of things that interacted. It wasn't just Ellen or her Nancy family.
Yeah.
Lisa also, with the SLS, captured a figure sitting on the bench.
Oh, cool.
A skeletal figure just sitting
Sitting
like
on
this.
in one of
And
the pews.
I forget the name. It wasn't Elizabeth.
Yeah.
This was a woman that said she also played the organ in a different time
Well,
period.
I-
Oh yeah, what was her
I
name?
did hear
Sharon
the
or
other
Rachel
woman
or something.
on the
What was it,
spirit box.
remember?
Yeah.
Remember that?
it was a
I
different
did hear
name.
the other woman on the spirit box during that session.
Yeah.
So-
well, this
What
one
she
said
say
that
her
she
name was? Do you know?
there
I don't
And
know.
also hangs out around the organ.
I heard a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
We also had the music box go off when Lisa was
Talking to that woman.
talking to it and looking at it through the camera.
Oh.
That woman would not do the cat balls at all, though.
Right.
But she could seem to set that one thing up, and we had the laser on there too. And it may be in my imagination. We'll have to look. But when I saw she was looking at this figure, when it disappeared, I thought I saw like a rolling.
Across the
Like
laser
movement in
grid.
the laser grid?
Yeah, in the laser.
Or maybe you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to explain, but almost like what's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator.
Oh, Predator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Oh, like
one of those.
Kind of shimmery that you
Right.
can't really see, but you see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Was this
So-
in the main part of the church?
This is right on the organ.
Right on
Okay,
the
because
organ.
when we were sitting in front of the organ,
Yeah.
Ellen and I saw like weird flashes of light over on the wall, over on the right hand side.
Oh, that
like
too,
when
but-
you're facing the organ, like we saw
Yeah.
some weird like I don't know.
I forgot earlier, Chrissy.
Oh, and somebody, just on that real quick, Mom saw a flash of red in the foyer.
Yeah, I did.
Chrissy earlier in the investigation, I don't know if you remember that. We were right when we put the laser grid up facing the organ. You said we were looking at when we walked into we had that camera here facing
Oh, I
the
do
organ.
remember some.
You said you saw
something
something
moving.
like
Yeah, I
go
saw
right
something
across
move
in
like
front of the
right.
organ.
Yeah. I mean, it
not move. Yeah,
not
move
in
like
the grid. Like it's just I saw like it was
Like-
almost like a shadow that
like
like
a
went
like
through.
a clearish shadow that you
Yeah.
could see enough, but
Like Jaden is
And
kind of
Lisa's,
talking about.
Lisa's
like
kind
as if it was like in front
Like
of
right in
us.
front of the altar,
Yeah.
like it kind of like went.
But when we all went out for a cigarette and to talk, the ones that did
Say a
smoke,
break.
Lisa was in there by herself, and she saw two different shadows. One on the pulpit, a big one, against that wall, and then one she said from the church proper, looking towards where the kitchen was. She
Yeah.
saw a shadow go that way.
Well, no, you guys were in there at the time because I thought you went into the kitchen.
When I came back out from outside, that's when you told me about it.
No, I saw one. I thought I saw one. Up,
Oh, I was with
behind
you.
the altar.
Yeah, but no, I was going to talk about the one you were holding the phone on live,
For the
and we were
TikTok, yeah.
facing the altar. We were probably 2/3 of the way back, and in that doorway over here, because the kitchen's right here, she saw something on the outside of that, where you can look through into the kitchen.
Right.
A shadow go from that way. So we went over there, and I mean, someone said on live they
There's a
saw it.
guy named Wayne.
Yeah, said he
Said
saw
Saw
it
it
on
on live.
Oh, you
Got
got
caught
it.
in it.
Saw it.
Yeah, we
That's
also
right.
went over there and tried to recreate it, to see like speed and everything to see if that's what it was, and we eventually picked it up. It was moving
So
pretty
I
quick.
didn't realize that. So that's 4 different types of things
Yeah.
we all saw in there.
So hopefully it's on live. Like I said, I'll
Um,
try to upload it.
So that's
Okay,
cool.
the that
S-
camera with
SOS?
the
SOS?
yeah, that thing.
The LOS.
With the figure there, like a
LOS.
figure sitting on the organ bench,
It was, but not towards facing facing
facing you.
How can you tell it's a stick figure?
because it was sitting like this and its arms were moving in front of it.
Yeah.
And
That's
you can
pretty
see
cool.
the arms. It's really cool when you
Yeah.
can see that
I hope you
motion of a.
Recorded that time because that way we don't have to watch
Oh,
all that footage.
it was on recording because remember we.
No, I hope you recorded the time so
Noted
when we
the
go to
time.
watch it, we don't have to scan through.
Well, it was early
Well,
on.
and the
Oh, was
SOS actually wasn't on all that long either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But do
So,
we want to just?
well,
Well, let's
talk
tell
about
too about the
Let's say we're already
front
about
roads and the
halfway.
attic.
well, I was gonna,
time.
yeah, the attic.
upstairs and the
So
Yeah.
I think you guys went up there first,
Yeah.
right?
Tom and I probably
To the attic.
to first. I put some cameras up there. You get a little bit of a weird feeling, like uncomfortable a little bit, like you're not welcome.
Not negative, just
No,
just a little
Just
I
like.
a
didn't
little
feel
uncomfortable,
uncomfortable, it was more
like you
heavy.
went into somebody else's
Yeah.
space that you know, like when Dad says, "Don't go to my room, that's my spot." You know, when you're a kid, you're going in there and you're feeling comfortable.
Like your
That's kinda how
friend
I
just
felt.
invited you to a family cookout and you don't know anybody there. That kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, not like, oh, this is.
So I put that stuff up there. Then I go back up there, and Kyle came up with me, and we had a mail meter up there, and we were trying to interact. Nothing would interact. We just got that weird feeling, and it's a little chilly, you know. But all of a sudden, the mail meter starts going off, and it's sitting on a case or something in front of us, and so we notice it, of course, and we're starting to talk about it. And as soon as we talk about it, it stopped. It's almost like something was curious about it, didn't realize it was going to cause an effect, right?
Mhm.
And then when it realized, because we said so, oh, we see you're here, it moved away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Nothing else for that. So we tried for a little while longer, and we're like, well, thank you for your time. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
You know.
And then when we went up, the
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
what was the name of the? I'm blanking on
the-
the one that died.
It's the
It was a
EMF
REM
REM
pod,
pod.
but
EMF
EMF
REM
REM
pod.
pod. When we went up, that was dead.
Dead,
So
which
you-
it is rare for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't use a lot of energy, and it had fresh
So
batteries.
it's an
It's a
EMF
fresh
meter
battery.
/ REM pod because all
Yeah.
REM pods is EMF.
So Lance went downstairs to go get the batteries, and I kind of just sat up there by myself, and I really didn't get anything. Like I just kind of sat there, and I talked a little bit, and when he came back up, we got a little bit on the K2 meter. It
Yeah.
just kind of like,
But then again, like once
When we
she was
mentioned
like,
it-
"Ooh, look."
and then it just flat.
So like kind of what he
Nothing
was
else.
saying, like it just yeah.
So
Yeah.
then we did a spirit box session, and I immediately heard like "go away,"
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and then I'm just a little bit later. Well, do you want to?
So she
say
can't
what you were
hear me,
asking?
so she hears it was go away or leave.
It was something
or
like
something along those lines.
something didn't want us there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wasn't like mean about it. It was short about it.
Yeah, the voice didn't
Curt.
sound angry.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like an
Go
old man,
away.
get off my lawn. Like
Yeah.
I don't want you here.
So
Makes sense.
You know, to try to clarify, I said, "Are you talking to us?" And then
Then I heard, "Are you gone yet?"
On the spirit box.
on the
That's pretty
script,
cool.
so I was like, oh, so I tapped.
And again, Chrissy has
Chrissy.
noise canceling headphones. She doesn't. know
Yeah,
what
she
he's
doesn't
saying.
know what I'm saying. So I tapped her on the, and I was like, all right, let's, like,
Let's
Well,
go.
we'll
just-
respect your wishes. We're very respectful
leave it
people if we
with
didn't
me.
already know that.
Yeah,
so.
and like I said, it wasn't the vibe that he was like being like aggressive.
He
or
just
mean.
didn't want
Yeah, he
anybody up
just-
there.
He just
Wanted to be by himself.
It's like
Private space.
you're in your
No.
bedroom watching TV and you got a bunch of random people coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out, you know.
Go away. Yeah.
But that's when we went downstairs.
Into
We
the
met up with
office.
Ellen and we went in the office. Yeah.
And was I on the spirit box at first? Yes. And at one point, it was a very grumpy, angry man. And at one point, it said something, I can't remember, it was with the WHORE word,
Yeah, like
but what was it?
that.
Like that
That or the.
and I'm just like, okay. And I kind of laughed when I'm like, I don't want to say this in a church.
So she spelled it
But-
like she just did.
Yeah.
Like I think
But,
you said.
But, and I can't, do you remember what else I got from
The
that?
only thing you got basically
It
from
was
that
just-
was like, no, stop. And that one, we didn't immediately leave because that guy was not nice about it.
Yeah. he
Like
was
I said, the guy the upstairs, you felt like he was
Just grouchy.
a little curmudgeon, but he wanted his own space. And this
Yeah.
one was like
just an a-hole.
And I believe I heard that word twice.
Yeah.
And then after
And
we heard
Ellen
it the
was like-
second time, we're like, yeah, we should probably get out of here.
And we should know, Lisa and I, before they went to there, Lisa and I and Mom, Brenda White Eagle, the lovely lady to the left over here, we went in there and tried to do, I had a mail meter, and Lisa had her rods. Lisa sat one corner, Grandma, and then me in the other, in a triangle.
Did you sit in the back?
No,
I sat by
Grandma
the
did.
door.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, that's the exact same like position like Chrissy Allen and I were.
Well, that's
but
the 3
it was-
available seats in there. So I
Well, I was just wondering
Yeah.
if it was like the 2 women here and the guy here.
Right, and for perspective, when you come into the door, in the back right of the room is a desk. On the desk is a ledger and several papers and some knickknacks and all this stuff. When we go into any place, if a spirit is trying to show us something that's in paperwork or something, we don't go through it.
We don't touch
Because
people's
it's not our
things.
place, it's not our
Yeah.
business. But this thing was insistent. Her rod kept just whipping back towards it, and at the time it didn't make sense. I saw the ledger on there, but there was a whole,
Yeah, a whole
things
bunch
on
of
that
stuff
thing.
on there.
It didn't want to talk to Lisa. It didn't want to talk with Grandma. It didn't want to answer any of my questions either. But it started, through her rods, would ask me a bunch of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, for some reason, related to me, but it didn't want anything to do with the females.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't even, wasn't polite to me either necessarily.
No.
It just kept asking me questions about myself. And it seemed to be a little bit more curious if it, I don't know about your guys' take, about the native side of things. But I was open to it. I told him a whole bunch of it. You guys see it on video. Some of it I might edit it out because it's a little personal. But, but he did not want to do anything else, especially since right in the beginning, he said something about numbers. I don't remember when she first started. And then it started pointing over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably was pointing at the ledger because later when we talked to some of the senior members of the church, there was a man that used to do work for them, we'll say, because we don't want to give out people's personal
Yeah.
names. He was also a teacher in the community, and he was known to be
Grouchy and not the night.
a little scary and not nice to the ladies.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
You were
okay?
recording in there, right? Like on your phone or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a camera.
And there's a camera in there too. We had my
had
phone
set
and
it
a
up.
camera running
Yeah.
on this at the same time.
Okay.
So, yeah, from what I understand from the other people, he didn't treat women with the respect he should have, but also from an age period of probably the 50s.
Yeah.
So,
That he only seemed to like men around his age.
well, it turns out I was similar to the age when he,
And-
I know this sounds, embarrassing for me, the man was a very short man. I'm a short man, and I think maybe he related to that a little bit too.
And you're kind of curmudgeonly too.
Yeah, and I'm a little scared when I want to
Yeah.
be,
But then we also did get on the spirit box. I forgot until he was talking about it. We got like, oh, do you not like us in here? Because are we not supposed to be in here because this is your office or not? And he's like, yes. Well, do you want us to? Yes.
That was what Lisa would get too.
Yeah. So we left.
Yeah.
Very specific, you want to communicate? No.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I was
my name is Shay,
answering-
you try to, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and I was answering kind of crotchety too. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was getting
Like
his
real
vibe.
fast notes.
Yeah, he was being nasty. Ish,
Yeah.
Like he was in control, this is his domain, and you beneath people,
Mm-hmm.
don't talk to me. That's kind of how it came
And
out.
we were wondering because everything else in there was so like,
Nice.
yeah, like
In the church.
like we were theorizing when we were in there, like maybe this guy is like from somewhere else, like we were thinking with the little boy, like he used to live here and he's just like because he didn't quite fit
We're
the,
people,
the,
right?
the rest of the.
Even in church, you got a lot of good people. But then you got
Sometimes you got some grumps.
Yeah, you got some grumps,
Yeah.
and and it's just people. It's human nature, and personalities don't change just because you pass.
Right.
Sometimes they get a little more exaggerated,
Yeah.
because you're frustrated or aggravated or
And that's
strangers coming into your territory.
And that's definitely how the rods came through too, because even with like you can tell if they're excited or if they're like angry.
They start spinning like helicopters.
So, like with the no answers, they were like quick. Like
Yeah, they would
they
be-
were just,
Really?
they were like,
Yeah.
who's mad?
Of course, and it also.
He was trying to be intimidated a little bit.
Exactly.
But also, which I didn't even think about at the time, but to him, okay, let's say, And we've talked about our theories and spirits and stuff before, but I don't think you get like the celestial knowledge until you decide, okay, I'm ready to
Yes,
move on.
till you
Right.
go over.
Yeah.
You know, when you're still here, he's still, and if he's like a church-going guy, like from an older era, the idea of us going in there and doing something like that would probably make him mad.
Yeah.
Just period.
Older area, a bunch of native peoples,
Yeah,
And-
and we're communing with spirits.
communion,
You
and
know, like
a place
that would probably
you know,
make
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
like an old.
But he
timey
might have
church
only, like,
person.
Yeah.
Worked in
someone's-
there too. You don't know if he was part of the congregation or.
The guy, if it's the same guy, was part of the congregation.
Oh, okay.
But you know, yeah, I could
Plus,
see how that.
Depending on
yeah.
how many years back you're looking, women were not encouraged to speak and things in the church.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on what denomination, but some of them,
Yeah.
From my best knowledge, 50s and 60s.
So it was then that we came out with the spirit box and got to the good, like real kind of interesting stuff. But we got any other things to add before we jump into the spirit box section
Yeah,
and
make
the
it quick because this one's gonna take about a little bit.
yeah,
I don't think I remember anything else. That,
nothing really.
Nothing that wasn't in that room already.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only
thing we
thing-
got in the big giant dining room was the equipment going off.
Equipment going
Yeah.
off, and then I saw that red ball
Yeah,
And Lisa
in-
saw the
out,
shadow.
out near the door,
right.
but there was nothing else in that
There was
room. I
mul-
took my instruments in there and got no other.
There was
reactions.
multiple people that saw that little red, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Tonight, but I don't know.
I didn't see anything in the kitchen except one time I thought I saw the kitchen door close. But and not that anybody went outside, but you
It
know,
just closed
just like
and
the
The
nobody was
outside
there.
kitchen door, not that one that swings to the dining room.
no, the outside,
Oh.
going to the outside, and there's a screen door, so it's not like there was wind that would.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't see anything concrete in there, but I did think a couple of times, like I thought somebody was in. You know, you just kind of catch it.
Some
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if it was legitimate or just.
Yeah, that's one of those
stars
ones you
you're
can't
walking
really.
through.
You know.
And on the rear door on the dining room, Mom thought she saw somebody out there or something, but that actually could have been a real person.
And
It
it could
could
have been someone
somebody
just
walking down the
peeking
street.
through and looking at what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But-
don't know.
Yeah.
So we don't want to positively say this was
Yeah.
an entity because we don't know if we could prove otherwise had we more
Well,
information.
the outside, I think,
Yeah.
was just somebody. You know, the lights are on in the main room of the church. People walking around.
Unusual
there.
in the
Late-
middle of
late
the
at
night,
night.
yeah.
Like I'd stop and be like, what's just
Check
you know,
before
in
you
your
call the
town.
police, you know.
Yeah.
Especially in a
Somebody's supposed to
small,
be in there.
wealthy town, you
Yeah.
know, low population type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. So then we moved to the dining room and
Well,
decided to
not
do
the dining
not
room,
the dining
the
room,
main hall.
Yeah.
and
The
decided
worship
to do
room.
A spirit
Right.
rock session
And-
in there.
Dad can vouch for this. For whatever reason, I was like, hey, I want to go do.
Oh, actually, before is when we did the music. You and Ellen sang "Amazing Grace."
Oh, that
I
was
played
yeah.
the
That
guitar.
was almost in the beginning of the investigation, though.
And
No, it was
no,
right
this
before we
was
did
right
the spirit
before
box.
we did the spirit box.
Yeah.
But as
you
we
were
were
getting the spirit
singing,
box ready while we were doing it.
the music box would play whenever we were like when he was
Right,
playing or we
yeah.
were singing, and then it would shut off when
In
we
the
stopped.
pauses and then start again. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
it was.
Singing with you.
along
She
with
was
us.
manipulating the music box to participate, and
Yeah.
like the cat ball went off. And,
Yeah.
And I should say too, I had the bell meter when I came in on while you guys were doing that, and I'm sitting over to your left, and I was getting bell meter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time it was like
Hunters
all the
or
way up.
Tom's was just sitting on the railing, and that
Standing
was
up.
like
Yeah, that-
going.
The entire
Yes,
that's
the
also on
entire
TikTok.
time.
Literally the entire time, and I tested. I went up, you know, right up to it, and it would just peak out and hold red, and then I would back up
Yeah,
15,
making sure it
20
wasn't the
feet,
phone.
and it would still.
Yeah.
No, just
Right, and we
going
should
on all
know
the
too,
time.
that's 3 different types of K2s we were using, 2 different bell meters, and we were getting readings in this building
Mhm.
Yeah.
on all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were doing that while you were getting the headphones
Right.
and everything ready,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
So I grabbed the spirit box, and I don't know why. I told my dad, I was like, look, I'm gonna go do the spirit box over here in this corner. I don't know if you remember that. That's literally what, you know. Some was, for whatever reason, I just wanted to go
Hell
over
to
there.
do it in that.
Usually we do them right beside each other. Like we'll just, you know, we'll do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. People will be 5-10 feet away from you. I went to the other side of the room for whatever reason. Turns out it was a great decision.
Great
because
spot, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm on the Spirit Box doing the Exodus method, soundproof headphones. It's blasting AM stations in my ears, so I can't hear what they're saying. And we had a pretty phenomenal Spirit Box session. So
I thought I heard something.
we got ghosts here, so maybe.
Well, Elizabeth was talking to him, which her granddaughter
let's
called
do it in
Betty.
steps first.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
don't.
that was one of the first things you heard.
Yeah, you said.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Right.
you put them on.
Well, yeah, let me preface it. I knew who Betty was. I didn't know Elizabeth. They just said, you know, you would think the daughter would call her Betty, and you know, especially in that kind of scenario, instead of
Right, Nancy referred to her as Betty. Obviously,
Instead of just
Betty's short for
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Probably didn't make that connection.
I didn't
We
know
were-
that. I didn't know that.
It's not that I didn't make the connection. I'm on the Spirit Box. I don't know what you guys.
No,
are.
Betty was short for Elizabeth. You're
Well,
saying
that's because I know Betty's actual Betty. So.
Yeah, nowadays like it'll
Yeah.
just be Betty.
But
When he was right in the beginning, we were asking if Elizabeth was here, right? Betty or Elizabeth.
Yeah,
And
we
then
said Betty
within,
when we were asking.
Within, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, he goes, Elizabeth. You know, which was one of 4 times.
yeah, I was gonna say I heard it several times.
Yeah. And
but
then we were like, is this Elizabeth? Yes.
this is all on video too, by the way,
And she
on
said,
Facebook.
you know, they were really clear. Like we were like, do you have a message for your
Well, we say we met Nancy today and your lovely great granddaughter and you know, stuff like that. And she was like, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it you or Chrissy? One of you guys, maybe it was even Tom. One of us asked, you know, about other relatives, and then the hunter goes, Harry.
No. You were asked. I was saying I heard another guy. This is what Lance was telling me. I heard another guy
Ellen said Harry.
ask, "Is this Harry?" And I apparently said yes.
Yeah. He said I'm getting a guy now, and he said the guy. Yeah, I think you said hello.
Yeah. Hello.
And Ellen says, "Is this Harry?" And none of us know who Harry is.
Yeah.
And then immediately Hunter goes, "Yep."
Ellen's the vice president of the
Yeah.
Historical
And-
Society. We didn't already say
Yeah.
that in this
We
podcast.
did.
In this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then and we turned to Ellen and we're like, "Well, who's Harry?" And she was like, "Oh, that's
Elizabeth's
Elizabeth's husband."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
which we didn't know about because
No.
Nancy didn't mention that at all.
No.
Isn't that when we started asking, like, I don't know if it was me, but, like, do you have any messages for...
We started, we talked about them, you know, so that we can engage them in a respectful way. And yeah, then he's, you know,
At one point in time, he said, I love you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
heard
he-
that when I said, do you have any messages
3
for
times
your...
now on
and you
investigations we've heard I love you come through.
Yeah.
he said, well, do you want us, one of you guys asked if you wanted us.
Would you like us to tell your children and
Nancy
grandchildren
something,
something?
or your
See, I don't know it in this detail.
And he
I
said
should've
something about I love you, and then I couldn't have sworn it was daughters and then great grandchildren. Or
I do
grandchildren.
remember you guys saying I did say daughters at one point when we went outside.
Yeah,
Right.
When we
and we were
said,
asking,
Who
and-
do you want us to tell you love? And he said daughters.
Daughters.
but at this point, we don't know that Nancy has a sister,
No.
No,
No,
at that time.
but we
no.
did find out later.
That was also a really good one. We said, "Is there something you'd like us to know?" And you said, "We're still here."
Really?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
here.
Still here. Yeah.
Pretty much the
Like just let them know
I did
that
not
we're
say
still
like I
around.
heard like I miss you too or something.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
Like so, if we're getting. I love you. That hey, we're still here and that we miss you.
And
They
we
love
miss
his
you.
daughters.
That's what he
They
wanted
love-
to say
they
to
said- they
his
both
family.
said they love the daughters and the grandchildren, and then Harry, it seemed to me from what you were saying, also said
Great grandchildren.
great grandchildren.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which they probably didn't actually even know.
No.
They
Except
probably
they
were just
see
like,
them.
hey, we just
They-
met our
they-
granddaughter.
Except they see them in
they were
church.
seeing them, and but
Hmm?
we didn't know about great grandchildren either. And you know, Nancy was much younger than I thought. I didn't realize
Yeah.
she was older. But yeah, I
Yeah,
talked to
because
Nancy
her
later.
granddaughter was there.
Right, and then apparently there's another generation after that
No.
too.
Her daughter and great granddaughter were there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Nancy's the daughter, and then the young
No, that
No.
girl wasn't Nancy's daughter. That was Nancy's granddaughter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was saying
pretty
that
much
Nancy was
They
the-
wanted
So it would be
all-
the great grandchild.
all three of those generations
Elizabeth
to know
and
that
Harry.
they love them, and they're
Yeah.
with them.
And
Yeah.
then we're still here. We're still with you.
you know how awesome that would be to meet the granddaughter
Oh, I
that
hope
you didn't know
he's-
you had, great granddaughter 40 years after your time.
Didn't we ask? Was
Like,
that you?
And then, I just imagined that. That'd be cool.
We said, is that you, Betty, and Elizabeth, that set the cat balls off on the organ? And you said yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we confirmed that was her that was engaging with
Really?
Nancy.
Yes.
And
Sweet.
the stuff going on.
And then after we interacted with them, got all these messages. They were like, "We're tired.
Yeah. They
Uh,
said we're
Oh, I
tired.
remember
We're
that.
tired. We're
Gotta
going.
go or something.
Got-
like that.
yeah, that
Gotta
was it.
go.
The
Yeah, I
woman,
remember that.
The woman, I think you said
Yeah.
tired, and then the man was like, "Gotta go." We were like, "Bye," and you were like, "Bye."
That's
Isn't
sweet.
it the polite way? And for you guys out there, that's really unusual to get
It is,
that much
very.
specific
Oh.
answers and names to direct questions.
Fair warning for the guys getting ready to watch that video. You might want to wear headphones where it echoes quite a bit in there. If you wear headphones, don't turn the volume up. You can hear pretty clearly everything that's saying. I did the same thing myself. So
But
And
After
as soon as they
we
left,
said goodbye to them, we said, is there anyone else who wants to talk? And
Is that
you
right?
that's when I
said,
heard that other
Yeah.
guy.
he
or
said
girl.
Mike Kane.
Oh,
Plain
yeah.
as day.
I heard it.
Any of you guys out there, because I forgot to ask the people we were talking about for this, Mike Kane, but that's a really specific name.
And it came in
You
in a
know this
really
person, let us
odd
know.
voice. It was literally out of nowhere, just Mike Kane, like very clearly. I mean,
Right when
clearly,
we
more
said,
clear
is
than I
there
can
someone
speak it.
else who would
You
like
know?
to
Yeah.
talk to us?
So
Right after the other conversation.
And we
that-
never
very
get a
stern,
first and last
you know.
name together like that.
right.
And
No,
I
it
had
was-
never
talked to
did.
Ellen about the name Mike Kane, and she said that she knows a woman with the last name of Kane that
Someone-
lives
yeah.
in Ellicotville.
Spelled
But we don't
the-
know if there's
yeah.
a connection
Spelled
there
the
or
same
not.
way.
But
yeah.
we think.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I think she said she was going to ask or something.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
she also has access to all the death
The
records,
records,
a lot of
yeah,
death
right.
records. So maybe she can.
Maybe we
figure
should
out
remind her
somebody
to,
that's related to
see
that
if
church.
And
Look
then
that up.
Mike said something snarky to Lisa.
What was that?
Oh, I heard like the wow or something like that.
That's it.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it.
I remember
Because
you
you
saying
said
that.
something.
No, that was Elizabeth and Harry, wasn't it?
No.
No.
No, that was
That was
mine.
mine.
I remember hearing Lisa's name.
Yeah, Lisa.
It
This
said
is what,
Lisa.
because this is what you were on the
Yes.
video. Yeah, I was like, you guys said something, and I hear Lisa, and then you guys say something else. I remember, but then I hear wow.
But then a woman came through and goes, "Oh, stop it," or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, stop
Not,
it.
And
not
he
to
goes-
us, I think, to Mike.
Like not,
Oh,
and
stop
he goes,
it.
no,
In
I
a
hear,
woman's voice. So
not like
stop
that or something, and then she goes like that. Cause I said that's like I think I said something like, oh, maybe it was like that, and she the woman I came through says like that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause you were
Oh,
like,
she called him an ass. That's
that
what it was.
was it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Doctor goes, I think she said you asked, and he's like, but maybe not like that, and then you hear, no, like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh,
I
okay.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
So there was one spirit calling the other one an ass because he said wow
Because the
about
ghost is
Lisa.
hitting on Lisa over
I
here.
mean, he seemed to be, he seemed to like Lisa, and this woman was like, hey.
Not bad at all.
And I didn't realize this at the time.
Probably.
I didn't realize this at
He's
the
in
time.
church, and he knows it,
Yeah.
and he's involved with manners.
We gotta think. This whole time I'm hearing footsteps. Like I can feel them getting
Oh,
softer and
that's
louder
right.
and heavier the more the
Walking
closer I
around
get to
you.
me.
Because
But
he
I didn't-
kept saying, who's walking around me?
Oh, but one of those times when you said that, is somebody walking around me? And you said Elizabeth.
Oh,
So she was the
yeah.
one that was actually
She
walking
was
close.
walking
But I also
around
want to
me.
mention with the Mike Kane and Lisa stuff. Lisa was sitting with only like a couple rows away from me. I think.
Mhm.
Like I'm sitting on two pews facing the altar this way, and all the other ones are facing it this way. Lisa's
Yeah.
like literally just like right here, 10, 15 feet away. You know, so. Some was
Yeah,
checking
'cause
Lisa
it's-
out. He's like, you know,
Because he said,
First time.
he's the one who said Lisa. Nobody said Lisa.
no, I just
He
yeah,
said Lisa.
Yeah.
yeah.
After he gave it.
How did he
His
know
full
she
name.
was Lisa?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, we
Mike
were talking
Kane,
about it.
Lisa,
all the time.
wow.
we use our names all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. They
But that was one of our better.
And I'm sure there's more that we
sessions.
didn't bring up. So if you want to
Yeah.
go see the full detailed video, check out the link in our bio. Oh wait, we're on YouTube now.
Check out the link below.
Go to Facebook, and you can do that too. But go to Facebook, it's SpiritHunters. I can't even talk.
SpiritHunters.group. It's in the description.
That's the website.
That has links to all our social media.
Spirit Hunters Inc. is our Facebook. There we go.
But
It's late, guys. It's after midnight.
Yeah. That's when we let it all hang out.
Yep.
mhm.
But it was a really
Pipe organs.
intense session in the best way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was the most direct question and answer we had with the
Yeah.
spirit box.
Especially with
in any investigation
7
so
people
far.
talking to him and him
And
responding.
he's responding to
That was the first
what we're
time
saying.
we had direct on the spirit box, because we've asked before, is there something you want to tell somebody? Yeah, I love you. We're still here.
I miss you.
Yeah.
Or
You
miss
know,
you.
like-
I miss you.
I miss you.
I miss you. I love you. We're still here. You know.
And daughters.
And I mean, it's so cool,
Dollars
like the
and
fact that
grandchildren,
they knew that they were losing the strength.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Meaning,
they were
and then
because
they said,
they can't get
gotta
real
go or
tired.
something like that, and
Yeah.
then bye. I thought that was really sweet.
Because
you know.
Elizabeth
And look
had
at this.
been working
That was
those.
fun. It was engaging, right? You don't have to be the scariest thing in the world. You don't have to be trying to, exercise demons.
I would assume that they
Just
were
good
really sweet
talking
people
spirits.
in life. If
Yeah.
even when you're dead, you don't just end a conversation. Well, I'm getting tired. We gotta go. You know?
if you're that sweet, and
Oh, you know they're really sweet people.
yeah,
And
so.
she had been working hard for a long time up until then with all the machines that she was making go off.
Yeah.
And then the other organist was reacting to things.
And we should say too, our partnership with Cat County Department of Economic Development and Tourism. That's always too much to say.
What was
I know.
One of the people that works with us is Katie. We won't give
Oh.
her last name.
Yeah.
And
Privacy.
it's funny because she messages me on Monday, hey, that's my grandparent.
She watched the live, guys. This is I'm gonna tell you how specific it is, so go check it out.
Yeah, she goes, you were talking to my grandparents. That was the greatest thing. And we got the whole family and the whole church now talking, and in a positive way.
Yeah.
I think we if nothing else, we gave them some clarity on some things.
Yeah.
And
Well,
at
Harry
least
and
one
Betty
family.
were real sweet. Mike
I
was
think you met Kate.
real responsive.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
We're at the
The other
cemetery.
woman, the
She didn't know
organist,
the
and I
song.
knew her
She
name
said-
that night, but right now I can't grab it. It's on video.
No,
Second
we-
time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
second
were all
time.
talking to us,
They all
and there were probably
and
other
sweet,
people
and they're
there.
nice.
Like
We
the
should
guy
say
in,
too through
you know-
Kathy Lacey. Sorry we missed you. Kathy was supposed to meet us there, but she was ill that night. She's another one of the church members that wanted us.
I know we mentioned it before, but I thought it was really neat that the church was so
Open to it.
Yeah, right.
And
You know,
cooperative, and
And,
Yeah.
and it's not just
And
with
then
this,
excited to
throughout
hear
history
about
of
this
their
stuff.
church.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
And then there
it
was
shows a lot about their heart.
Andy in one room, the one in the attic who says, leave me alone, and the one in the office. They were different
There was,
entities
like,
with different personalities.
People in every little section of that church.
Yes.
We got like you were saying, Andrew, whoever was in. There's people everywhere in their own little.
Yeah.
Right. I think the guy in the attic, or the girl, who knows,
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to be separate from the other spirits and us.
That's why he
right?
went up
They
there.
were
Leave
up
me
there in
alone.
their own place. The guy in the front, he just hangs out there, and
It was a special investigation.
It was.
It's the only investigation I saw Chrissy cry during.
When did I cry?
When I first came, you were telling me that Elizabeth helps take care of
Oh,
Andrew
yeah.
when he gets
It
scared.
was just really
Which is
touching.
odd.
Andrew
Yeah.
said, when I get scared, she helps.
Well, like
Betty
he watches,
takes care of him.
Betty watches after him, and like I don't know, like you were picking up on the
His
emotional
feeling.
Aura.
and
Yeah.
she started choking up and started tearing up.
I
I
can
was
see
like,
that. This Elizabeth, Betty, she seems like a great person in life, and
Yeah.
you can see if there's a little boy hanging out there, and that's her church,
Yeah.
one of her
Yeah.
favorite places
yeah,
to come back
and
to.
he's a little scared and he's a little shy, and they're
Yep.
it was very sweet. Yeah.
And, we talked about ghosts and the difference of ghosts and spirits that move on and come back.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that Elizabeth and Harry were moved on, but they come back.
They come back.
They're
Yes.
all about their family, their church, and that's who they were as people,
Yeah.
and they still relate.
Because
to that, you know?
Nancy has told
I think
me,
that's why they were so strong.
Yeah.
coming
Nancy
across.
told me that she sees her mother in her house,
Yeah,
visibly,
yeah.
visibly.
There was some part of that too that we were talking with Hunter that I think also related to that too. I can't remember right now, but when you just said
So,
that,
you know,
right.
they go other places.
Yeah.
But I don't think the guy in the attic or the office
Maybe
does.
not. No, they were definitely not like trapped spirits or spirits
No,
who were
they're not
stuck.
trapped.
Like they had a complete understanding of what they were and
what
where
they
they
can
and how
were.
to do things.
How
Yeah.
strong they could be.
And how great
yeah.
is that for people like us to be able to communicate that clearly?
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
But yeah,
Mhm.
actually, that's
Yeah.
almost perfect.
Well,
Have
That
any
being
questions or anything?
oh,
Oh, we're at an
Yeah,
hour.
we're at
good.
an hour.
Yeah, we'll save any ones we have for when we're struggling.
We might do a little update on this later because we have a number of people and historians that are looking up more information to tie into some of the things
This-
we found.
yeah.
it may not be a
To
full
verify
podcast
what we
video, but we
said.
can
No,
definitely
it'll
try to
just
put
be an
something up.
add-on to something
Because
else.
there's,
Just probably,
you know, going to
we
look
could
up
just make a
Mike
video
Kane
update
and
and-
Yeah,
video
update, yeah. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Check out our website, SpiritHunters.group.
Yep.
Facebook and YouTube both are Spirit Hunters Inc.
Yep.
Don't forget Bill's
Instagram.
stuff.
Bill's, the Instagram, yeah, all that's linked on our
TikTok.
Facebook stuff too.
And guys, make sure you
Website.
like
Ghostly
and
Chronicles. Don't
subscribe.
forget Ghostly Chronicles.
Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
And
lot-
share.
It's just not Twitter anymore. It's X, and it's like
X,
a
Twitter.
graveyard.
It's still Twitter.
It's a lot of information pushed at you, but just go check those out.
Check out-
Link down there.
Yeah, go down in the description, SpiritHunters.group. It's got links to all of our social media, all of our partnership programs, and
Bill Robertson's on there.
investigations.
Bill
Stand for his
Robertson, you
book.
owe us
That's
$1 million.
$275 now, Bill.
Do like and comment and things like that because it
Subscribe.
really helps the channel grow.
It
Our
does.
YouTube really needs to expand, so get on that, guys.
Oh, our Facebook needs to expand.
And we
Yeah.
love being
Yeah.
able to interact
Lots of
and
people.
connect more and more people.
Yeah.
Share those stories
But
and
with
history.
that being said, guys, Lisa,
Happy hunting.
thank you guys. See you later.
Anybody need some coffee thrown in their face?
Yeah,
Wakes you right up.
yeah. Only if it's hot. Okay, ready?
You like hot stuff burning up your face?
Everyone's phone on vibrate, silent still.
Ski, ski.
Skeet, skeet. Oh, skeet, skeet, motherfucker.